Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Loren Gailey, and this is a special episode of QCTV. And this is really interesting because we're talking about quantum healing. My guest today is a pioneer and a researcher in this technology. We're going to talk about his latest research and the astounding, remarkable results that he's witnessing in the lives of his clients. Let's welcome Brian David Andersen of Tri-Vortex Institute. Hi, Brian. Welcome to the show.
Oh, very good to be here.
We are so glad to have you here to talk about these products. Let's first talk about some of the remarkable cases. There is Sandra, who actually witnessed and experienced incredible healing. So let's start there with that, and then we'll go into your latest products.
Well, that was a very interesting situation. She came in with a mass on her breast that was the size of a softball, and was overweight and she'd lost weight, and then that's when she discovered this. She was in between. She was still seeing her regular physician, and then she was talking to an oncologist. And then, of course, there's a lot of time in between all of that. So she came to me then, and we started working with this. And one of the major things that I've discovered, and MIT is also discovering this, this is a real major thing that's happening everywhere in all different types of healing areas, both traditional and non-traditional. And that is the importance of frequency. And literally a electromagnetic frequency. And what it appears to be, from what my research says, is that our bodies run between 10 and 110 hertz of frequency. That literally is, the wave that goes along. And so either goes 10 hertz per second or 10 waves per second or 110. And there's all different types of frequencies in between there. And they've discovered that MIT did, that when they would put a 40 hertz frequency or a light that's blinking 40 hertz or 40 per second, is that the individual who had Alzheimer's would have their symptoms very much relieved. So this lady that came in, Sandra, with this breast, obviously there was some sort of frequencies that were going on that had dropped out. And that's basically what we're looking now at disease. It's going to become very simple. I think there's going to be a major revolution in all of healthcare over this next 5 to 10 years as we make now more discoveries into the importance of frequencies. And our bodies put out and emit various kinds of frequencies, as I said, between 10 and 110 hertz. And one of those frequency wavelengths drops out, that's going to be associated with a particular type of disease. So again, now with the breast cancer, what's the thing that we're finding out, though, like cancer and things like that, there still hasn't been a definition or a defined frequencies for those. We know they're moving in on Alzheimer's. So basically what I do is an omni type of tones. And as I said, between the 10 and 110 hertz. One thing that I do have that nobody else has in the world is a way to manipulate the frequencies. Basically, the MIT and various other people, they're using frequencies, but they only use just the frequency itself. What I also do is to manipulate what's called phase. It's where the wave begins, and also the amplitude. And by doing so, then I can almost give it a geometric type of shape. One of my distributors out of South Africa, he was working with a computer person, and we were talking about frequencies, and he said, well, a lot of these frequency generators, they are really good at playing various types of things. You have these things called Audacity and Adobe Audition, and they are very good at playing tones. That's what they were set up for. But actually, when it goes to generation of the tones, they're way off the mark. And so what we did then is we hired this computer programmer. And it cost us $40,000 to do it. And he came up with this whole way of doing frequencies where it's very accurate. We can get a very accurate frequency of just one wave of frequency, then it goes on to the next. So this Sondra was then subjected to almost over 700,000 frequencies were done in a minute and a half period of time. And each one of their phase different. We were making triangles or making squares, different type of things. And nobody else has this type of software. Basically, Tri-Vortex Institute is very much sole as far as no one else having that ability. So this lady now came in with this 10 or this softball size type of mass. I can't really call it tumor because then that would be kind of like diagnosing. I can't do that, but it was a mass there. And we got it all the way down to a golf ball. And she had every typical sign of having cancer, but without being diagnosed actually of cancer, but she had all the symptoms of it. And so then basically when we got it down to the golf ball size, she then, all of her symptoms that were happening before were not there anymore. But then the family got very concerned. Then traditional medicine came in, and basically they called it the triple negative, which means it doesn't respond. A doctor declared that she had triple negative cancer. And so that means that the traditional ways of treating this would be unresponsive. She would be unresponsive to traditional treatments like chemotherapy and radiation. So this is why they call it triple negative. And so then she decided to go ahead and go through the operation. She had both breasts removed. And then to the shock and the amazement of everyone, but not to her, not to me, is that when they went to go do all the biopsies and they did all the lab tests and they did lymphatics and they did the whole area, they just basically did the entire area, and it came back no cancer at all anywhere in her body. So that was a major type of thing. And then now that was over now going on about a year and a half ago. And just about a couple of months ago, she went in for a complete checkup, had everything all checked again, had various types of scans and everything, and she is still cancer-free. So it was a positive thing in one way. In other ways, we wish we'd have been able to save the breasts, but that was one particular area. I'm also now doing myself. A gentleman came in. You can find this video up on the website. His name is Juan, and he came in with cellulitis, and also he was borderline diabetic. And we treated the cellulitis and everything. It was all very good. But the more interesting fact was that he brought his mother in. And the reason why he had to do that is because she had Alzheimer's and he couldn't leave her at home. So just as an experiment, I have my own 40 now Hertz tones and all these other type of tones. And we simply just put the headsets on her. And we also use these tibs that I have here. This is what we're going to be featuring from the product. We put those in her hands. And so two things happened then. A lot of her Alzheimer's symptoms then released and let go. You'll see on the video that's on the website that, and this is a kind of a special thing that I need to explain here. When you go to this Tri-Vortex website, you'll drop down and you're going to see videos for it, or you go over to Stem Cell Stimulator, you drop down, you're going to see then the Vimeo little sign for the little window. You click on the Vimeo. Then from there, from Vimeo, it takes you over to another page, and you're going to see my name in the left-hand corner, Brian David Andersen. Click there. That takes you up to my full Vimeo page. And there's a lot of videos that I have, but I don't put them on the website on purpose. So this is like a special type of thing for acoustic people here, is that you can watch all of these videos. And Juan is up on this video. And so is Sandra. She's also on the video too. And so now the lady comes in, her name was Naomi, and after the third session, then the fourth session, the husband came in and joined her in the session. He came up and shook my hand and said, "Thank you for giving my wife back." And so basically a lot of the things that happened, and you can see this up on the video on the Juan, as I said, his video is up on this extra special page. And the father also talks on the video of how a lot of the symptoms. I can't consider it a cure. She still has Alzheimer's, but a lot of her symptoms, and most importantly, is her quality of life has been significantly improved. And that's where, again, with the Tri-Vortex Institute, one of the things that I function under here in the state of California is the 2002 Alternative Healthcare Act. And what they require for persons like myself who are not a doctor or were not trained in the traditional types of manner is they really want disclosure. So that's also part of the thing that I'm doing here as far as state law goes, is that I have to declare to the audience here that I'm not a medical doctor, and but I do have 30 years experience in alternative healthcare, and all of the services and products that we're talking about have not been reviewed by any state or federal agency. And so I work underneath the 2002 Alternative Healthcare Act, both their guidelines and their protections, and also the March 22nd SB 3316 federal FTC Act. So I'm doing both federal and state disclosures. And so basically, again, now what we did is, again, just put the headphones on her, and all she was listening to was the various types of tones. And so what we did is we then brought those tones back. One of the first things that happened, very, very interesting with her when we did that, and it seems like there is an association, and that is that her sleeping patterns dramatically changed. Before, she would only sleep maybe a couple hours and she'd get up and walk around, and that's very typical of a lot of Alzheimer's people, is they have disturbed sleep patterns. So it's like a syndrome that get into. The disturbed sleep patterns then can many lead to the harmonic frequency dropout, and then it goes into the syndrome of the forgetfulness, that type of thing. So the very first thing, though, they noticed was her sleep patterns dramatically improved. And basically then on her own volition, she started doing her own exercise program. Nobody mentioned, nobody motivated her to do it. She did it all on her own. And before, she used to wander from room to room, wondering where she was. All of that abated, and now she has a focus, and she has a purpose to life. So again, frequency is extremely important, and that's what we do here at the Tri-Vortex Institute. Regretfully, the frequencies that I deal with here, that they can be very easily copied, the ones of the headphones. So releasing that to the general public, I cannot do. I just lost my light, and I am going to have to go fix that. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, as Brian takes a quick break here to fix his studio light, I want to say that his products, the discs, he's got the Tri-Vortex discs, and also the amulets, and these are encoded with these frequencies. He's got the frequencies of vitamins and minerals in these amulets, and you can wear this amulet and you will be charged with the frequencies of the vitamins. And so that is the amulets on his special offer. And also you can see those Tri-Vortex discs. I've actually got a couple of them right here. And these are really good at structuring water and also protecting your field for EMFs. So Brian, welcome back. We were explaining that these frequencies that you work with are also encoded in your products. I was just explaining the amulet with the vitamins. I love that. I wear my amulet when I sleep every night, and then we move into the fall season, and it's a great immune booster.
Yes, that's where, again, is that all these frequencies now, especially for the headset, people can copy the frequencies. That's why I don't release any type of headset, but those frequencies can be embedded, and they are embedded to all the Tri-Vortex products. So the things that we're discussing here today, they've all been embedded with Tri-Vortex, and they're actually then carrying those frequencies.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, everything is frequency, and that's amazing, the work that you're doing. I am familiar with the tones generated from the audio recording software programs like Adobe and Audacity. Can you repeat what you said there, that those are not completely accurate? So you were able to do something that got them more pure, or what was that?
Basically, everything works by a logarithm.
Mhm.
This gentleman, he was able to show us and demonstrate how the logarithms on a lot of these programs are way off. They're not really accurate. So if you think you're getting 22 hertz or you're getting 22 hertz or 2200, you really aren't getting the proper type of thing. And so, especially what we wanted to do, and what I wanted to do was to have just one wave of frequency at, say, like 20, and then the next frequency would be at 30, and there'd be one wave and the next wave. And there was no way that the programs could keep up with the the speed and the how rapid I wanted to do the frequencies, and how that was very important, how that's needed for health. And so they just simply couldn't keep up. So that's when, again, we built our own little special program. And that's also, we use that in the headsets, but also everything that we for Tri-Vortex is put into this field that is using this very special type of software. And basically what we can do is we can take a tone by using the phase, and that means the wave that goes, there's a certain where you start the wave, and then how what's the volume, that's the amplitude. You literally then can make a triangle, you can make a square, you can make a pentagram, you literally can make these forms. And we basically, that's also what this software will do, is it generates a program where we can actually see what we've created. We can see this triangle, and if it needs a little bit of adjustment, then we can, adjust the phase and adjust the um, amplitude to make a real perfect type of triangle or square or pentagram or other types of figures also. So that's where we basically, Tri-Vortex stands out from anybody else in the world right now when it comes to acoustics and also to any type of sound types of applications, is we have software that nobody else has anywhere in the world.
Kudos to you. Congratulations. Again, you are a pioneer in this industry and you are witnessing people changing their lives. And that is the greatest testimony of all, regardless of any regulations that may come from our governmental institutions on this. And as you said, there's an evolution, a revolution coming in our medical industry, and you're pioneering that. So again, I just say kudos and good work. Now, these products that we have, I've shown my Tri-Vortex. There's the stainless steel, and then there's the gold Tri-Vortex discs. Let's talk just a moment about those. You've got some new products that are really great. One of my favorite things lately is the infrared technology, and you're really leading a revolution on that, and you've had great accomplishments with it. But the Tri-Vortex discs, let's talk about those first.
The disc, again, the background on that is, again, these frequencies are being used into a treatment chamber, and it's a long tube and it has domes on it. And basically, the frequencies are all caught within this tube and the domes. And so anything that goes inside of this treatment chamber for 24 hours, it comes out, and then it has special frequencies embedded into it. So when you take a glass of water and you place it on the disc, the water is all chaos. Its frequencies are all going everywhere. And so basically what happens then is the um, water then goes into what's called sympathetic resonance. It goes into the same type of pattern as what's being emitted by the disc. And the best thing I can also say here, I mean, if there's any one thing that's going to be pulled from all of this whole thing today, if to remember, is that our bodies are like Ferraris. And would you put regular gasoline into a Ferrari? That would be insanity. So why are we putting in very inferior types of liquids, especially liquids that have what we call molecular chaos? Because your body then, what is it going to be? It's molecular chaos. When we're young, we can change that molecular chaos much easier. But after the age of 25, and especially now with all the poor diets, the environmental poisons and that type of thing, our body's ability to really restructure the water is pretty much lost after the age of 25. So then the water will just pass right through you. It's not going to, that's organized, structured water, just like a Ferrari. The Ferrari needs to have a high, type of octane. It has to have a high quality. So do we. We need a high quality water to absorb into our bodies. And so that's what the disc does, is take that water And what it's equal to then, or even maybe even superior, is that the water that comes from a rain cloud, it spirals up into the cloud and it's distilled and then recondenses in the cloud and then drops down onto the car hood or the leaf. And then what happens is the drop spreads out and goes as if when you hit, it doesn't break up, it just spreads out. And that's what's called low surface tension or coherency. When you take water from straight out of a distiller and it hasn't been changed by the Tri-Vortex, you drop it on the car hood and it beads up, it just breaks apart immediately. So when you put that's distilled water or any type of water and you put it on the disc, then when you drop it on that car hood, it'll do the same thing as rainwater. It will spread out, which means it has organization. So absorption is occurring almost immediately when you put it on your tongue and all the way through. That's what you want, is absorption to be taking place immediately when touching the tongue and then all the way down. And if we have molecular type of chaos, that doesn't happen. Though absorption can many times you're not doing it. So basically it can go through the kidneys and bladder and out it goes, and there's no type of organization. You simply aren't getting any type of proper hydration. So that's the major thing about the disc, is hydration. That's one of the reason why it was built. But also what it can do is that what is pain? Molecular chaos. And so when you put this on a particular type of pain, it brings structure to the area. So chaos is coming to the brain as pain. But when you put structure in, many times then people have what's, say pain relief, where they have basically the signals aren't coming to the brain anymore as pain because now everything is organized. So not only does it do good things for water, but it also can do good things for pain. You wake up in the morning and you slept wrong or something like that, and it's really good for that. You can take that away, fairly quickly. But if there's more of a long-term type of pain, then basically it may take a little longer for the disc to happen. And so that's where, again, also two discs come in play, is that you put two discs on each side of a knee that maybe you've tweaked a little bit, or an elbow or something like that. So it has multiple uses. Also, you can put it on your wash machine, believe it or not, and reduce your clothes soap, because what does clothes soap do at all? It just does is organize the water. So you can reduce the clothes soap by simply putting the disc on top of the wash machine, because then the energies from the disc go throughout the whole wash machine. And basically it's emitting that now. So I had a gentleman call me about the disc, and he was a welder, and he does this electric arc welding type of thing. So there's the rod that goes out and the other thing that comes in that makes it. So he put the disc where the rod was, so they had the rod and the disc, and he did a bead first without the disc, and then he did another bead with the disc, a welding bead. And what's called the tensile strength was major difference between with and without the disc. And again, this was all totally done on his own volition. I did not, I didn't even think about doing that. It was totally his own idea. So that's also one of the neat things that we've had over the years, is everybody has come up with a different way of dealing with and experimenting with the discs. So you can also, experiment with some ice and do ice that's been treated and ice that's been untreated. There's all different types of ways. And again, you could do a smell and taste test where basically you get a grape juice or you get a little wine, and pour off a little bit, put it across the room, and then put the whole bottle on the disc, and then let it sit there for a couple of minutes, maybe less, and then pour off another glass, and then take that glass over to where it was untreated, smell it first, then taste, and it's amazing the difference between the two. So there's just, for the price that it's being sold at, it lasts for 9 or 10 years. Pain relief, lots of fun demonstrating it, and all different types of ways of experimenting with it too, and some things that may have never been thought of. We do have on the Tri-Vortex website, basically we have like a little page where we show various things where people have done things, especially with plants. When a water has been treated by the Tri-Vortex disc and then put on various plants, they have different growths. So regular water will have one type of growth pattern, and then the Tri-Vortex treated disc will have many times much faster and better growth patterns, and we show that in pictures. Now, why that is so important is because the molecular or the actual chemical elements in animals, humans, and plants are all the same. That's interesting to know, is that every chemical element that's in a plant is also in us and also in an animal. The only difference is between animals, humans, and plants is their arrangement. So if we affect the plant and we show growth, we can extrapolate that and say, oh, here's a thing with plants. It will help with plants. It will also help with humans and animals. Animals, especially for dogs and cats, if you put out two dishes of water and one has been treated and untreated, it can be tap, it can be distilled, it can be anything. And it's amazing to watch the animals because they'll always go towards the treated disc water
Oh,
rather
I'm gonna
than
try
total
that.
water. So it's
Wow.
it gets that's, and again, I didn't discover that. That was somebody who discovered it on their own. So that was, again, that was exciting type of thing to get that email and say, wow, that's really cool. And
Yeah.
so it just goes on and on. There's so many things that you can experiment with.
Well, it's perfect because structured water, pain relief, literally the stainless steel or the gold. It's fascinating that someone puts it on the washing machine because I was going to ask you, you know, these aluminum bottles, the vacuum bottles that people carry their water in.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you put that aluminum bottle? It's a vacuum. It's a double walled aluminum bottle. Can you
Right.
put that on the disc, or
Oh
does it
yeah,
have
yeah,
to be in a
yeah,
glass?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It'll
really?
go through anything. Yeah, the disc will go through anything. I have also
Okay.
people that clean swimming pools,
Oh,
and they'll put the disc in the little dryer type of thing, hair catcher, and they can reduce their all their chemicals, just like the soap in the wash machine. They also reduce their chemicals in the pool by 1/3, and still get all of the. You can put the pool under stress, and the pool does fine. So again,
excellent.
the disc goes through anything, will do anything. And then the next thing that happened is the Tri-Vortex Tri-Vibes. And I was one of the pioneers of underwater video. And I was hired by ABC to do the 1984 Olympics. And I had my underwater housing, but I had it on a float on a type thing because I was doing the windsurfing yachting segments. And a catamaran came by me and put his dagger board up, and I was only like a foot away from his dagger board, and I followed him across. So every time that they went to commercial break, they then showed my picture. Well, the guy went on and won a gold medal. So we decided then we go off to a little cove and do our own little thing and see if we can do it again. This time he came in closer, and he also put his dagger board higher, but that also put the bottom dagger board much higher also. The bottom dagger board caught me in the knee, and he was going at a fairly good speed. And so I thought I lost my leg, but everything recovered. So now that's 1984 Olympics is where that occurred. And so now we're 2004, 2005, and this knee that got hit by this catamaran was giving me all sorts of fits. The disc wouldn't work, nothing would work. And so I found out the substance between the bone and the cartilage is what's called high hyaluronic acid. And when that drops out, the two bone and cartilage will rub against each other, and the nerves then in between will then start firing into the brain and say, pain, 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 no hyaluronic acid, we're scraping here. And so I got a little thing of hyaluronic acid, and I put it on my knee. It didn't do a thing after 24 hours. I took that same tablet and I put it in my Tri-Vortex treatment chamber. I brought it out, put it on my knee, and lo and behold, within 10 minutes, 90% of my pain was gone. I was the first person to experience what is called light particle assimilation of vitamins and nutrients. And so literally the light particles of the vitamins and nutrients are excited by the treatment chamber, and then they basically go right through the skin, go right to the area, and they were putting this hyaluronic acid right directly into the area. When you take hyaluronic acid as a supplement, it basically is destroyed by the stomach. It's really worthless to take hyaluronic acid orally. And they've actually taken needles and put it in, and hyaluronic acid, as soon as they pull the needle out, it wasn't there. So basically, you have to come up with a steady supply. So every time that I took my tablet off, within a few minutes, the pain came back. So then I got another thing of hyaluronic acid, treated it, and I put it into a little baggie, which I started wearing. And then after about the 20th day, each day I was taking my one off my knee, and the pain would come back. But then the 20th day, I took it off, and there was no pain. That was now again about 2004 or 2006, 2005. And since that day, this knee has never given me any problem in that area whatsoever. And what I did then is I kept now wearing that hyaluronic acid, but well, if hyaluronic acid is going to work, then what about other vitamins and nutrients? So, hey, wow, let's try that. And so I came out with a product. I call it Tri-Vibes. In the beginning, it was a little pellet type of thing, and you wore it on your wrist. And a lady bought one from me. She was a distributor out of Phoenix. And she was in remission from ovarian cancer, not because of anything I did, but because just what she was doing. But then she was going to a medical doctor, and she did a test called SpectraCell. And the doctor wanted to do this test. SpectraCell called the doctor and said, "You need to bring this person in immediately. We have never seen these mineral levels as high as, this is off the charts." So she's probably overdosing. She's taking minerals 3 or 4, maybe even 10 times a day. So the doctor is shaking her finger at my distributor, saying, "You got to stop taking all these minerals and vitamins." And my distributor looked at the doctor and said, "Well, no." I said, I've never taken a mineral vitamin in my life, but I'm wearing this." And so that led to the whole thing now that we've done SpectraCell tests. We've actually done a clinical trial on it. We gave 10 people a placebo, was with flour, with what we now call the Tri-Vortex amulet. And then another group of 10 people got the real thing with all the real vitamins and nutrients. And then they wore those for, again, 40 days. At day 0, everybody had a blood test, and at day 40, everybody then had another blood test. The group that was wearing the real thing, and everybody on this trial, the 20 people, everybody had deficiencies of some sort. And so now on day 40, we did the retest again, and all the people that were wearing the real thing, they all shot up. Their values were, it's amazing statistics that we have in our now portfolio, is that it was either non-deficient or just right below non-deficient. And the other group stayed about the same, but there was something very interesting that happened. The vitamin B slightly spiked, and not to where it was non-deficient or indeficient, non-deficient or below non-deficient, but it was statistically, we had to take notice that the B's increased on everybody. And so I'm talking to a lawyer friend of mine out of Austin, and I was telling him that we just couldn't figure this out. Why would the vitamin B's? And he said, "What did you use for placebo again?" And I said, "Flour." He started laughing. He said, "Do you realize the United States government mandates that all flours be vitamin B enriched?" But he said it's at homeopathic levels. So basically, he said, "It's very impressive that you even got any type of results." So that was a surprise. Then we had a 21st person who was the father of the person who was doing this clinical trial. He's a diabetic, 72 years old, had 7 deficiencies, which you expect with a diabetic. And we excluded him because we didn't really know what diabetics, how they react or whatever. And then we did a test 0, day 0. And then we also, at day 0, he had 7 deficiencies. At day 40, this 72-year-old diabetic had no deficiencies. He was totally up on everything. So there's something to this. We have other tests that's up there, that's up on the website. Look under Tri-Vibes, and we have various other kinds of lots of other spectral tests have been done. And again, with some really unique and outstanding type of results. And those persons also that are interested, even if you have a Tri-Vibes today, or if you don't have one and you would like to do a SpectraCell test, send me an email. We can arrange it for you so that you have to go to a laboratory, have your blood drawn. Usually we can save you $150 or so without having to go to a doctor to do this. Basically, we can just set up the lab and then do the collection and then send you test results. So the Tri-Vibes, again, when you also combine that with the disc, as I was talking before about, like, say, if you have a bad knee or shoulder or something like that, you put the disc on one side and put the Tri-Vibes on the other, put a ACE wrap around it, and does all sorts of good things for any types of pain, long-term pain, short-term pain, that type of thing also. because many times pain also, along with the molecular chaos, is again a lack of vitamins and nutrients. So we got a lot of things covered here in Tri-Vortex. Is that we cover the hydration, we cover the nutrients, and we're also doing frequencies. And again, both the disc and the tri-vibes are embedded with all these frequencies that we've been talking about, between the 10 and the 110 hertz, and a whole bunch of other frequencies that are, end up being a minute and a half long, that repeats itself. And there's over 700 type of frequencies, 700,000 frequencies in there. And again, all making these triangles and squares and everything else like that, that is very supports all different types of cell dynamics and growth and balance.
Beautiful. And it really is interesting. You've coined the term light particle assimilation. That's really what this is the frequencies of the vitamins are literally absorbed into our body. That's what that means. And it is fascinating. And I love that the research is there to support the minerals and the vitamins. You've done the testing, you've done the baseline, and it's proven that it works. So there's a question that pops up. The gal who the doctor was shaking this finger at saying, don't take those minerals, was she deficient? That's why they were showing up? Was
No,
she
she was actually, again,
overdosing?
her first test, she was off the charts as far as being maximum amount. They had
That's
never seen this type of level before. It was off the charts. And I should have said that earlier. Basically, what Linus Pauling said is that when the body needs nutrition, it will automatically, whenever it will try to bring it up from any type of source. And so here, this minerals and vitamins were made available to her, so the body just sucked it all in. And they did a kidney and bladder test on the lady, and she was again totally clear. So because of the ovarian cancer, she still was craving these minerals and vitamins.
mm-hmm.
And so that's why SpectraCell then got this really super high rate that they had never seen before, and pegged way beyond their maximum levels. And so again, that's where the light particle assimilation again demonstrated that it does work, but it does it also in a non-toxic type of way. You can't overdose on this.
Yes.
And there are certain people like my mother, who is now passed, but when she had was living, she still took her vitamins and nutrients, and she also wore the Tri-Vibes. So, and it won't hurt. Again, what they've already proven is that in many ways, because of the way that you digest, many times your vitamins and nutrient levels will just do this constantly when you're doing oral types of vitamins and nutrients. And what the Tri-Vibes will do then is come in and fill in those days when you're not absorbing due to some sort of stomach stress or emotional stress or whatever it is. Then the Tri-Vibes totally just blow right through that. It doesn't matter what type of emotional stress or physical stress you're in, you're still going to get a light particle assimilation.
I absolutely love it. I've got your special offer up on our screen here now. Please check it out. It's on our website. So if you're listening to this broadcast on our webpage, there's a special offer button right there for you. Otherwise, you can go to bit.ly/Brian offer. And this is beautiful because we've got a practitioner set. It's got a couple of discs in there. You can buy 3 discs. You can buy a single disc. You can buy the Tri-Vibe Vitamins Amulet, or any of the other products that Brian's got. We're also doing an after party today with Brian, and he's going to give us more lessons on the protocols that he's come up with. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now as well. So if you'd like to join us in our after party immediately following this broadcast, go ahead and check that out at bit.ly/QCTV Pass. This will get you into our New Earth Creator membership community, where you can join all the after parties on our QCTV shows. These allow you to ask my guest your question and share with other like-hearted individuals in our Zoom audience. We get together and just open up and chat about our New Earth experience. So that is available. Brian, right now, oh, I also want to mention anybody who purchases a product with Brian, whether it's a Tri-Vortex disc or what have you, an amulet, whatever you like, you will get access into today's QCTV after party with the purchase of a product from Brian. Okay, so Brian, this is where we get fun because there's new things coming our way from you. And one of the most interesting things is this infrared light. We know that infrared light is incredibly healing. In fact, when we use our voice, the reason our voice heals is because, and why toning is so effective is because it's literally infrared light. You are actually using infrared light in a product that has incredible healing results as well. So show us what that's all about. You call this TIBS, which is Tri-Vortex infrared bulbs.
Yes, there has been now a big movement. If you go up on the internet, you'll see there's big things about infrared light, and some people sell really big panels of infrared light, and some, a little smaller and that type of thing. So I kind of watched the trend for a while and saw where things were going and how I would do it and that type of thing. I knew I wanted to come up with something smaller than what's out there on the market right now. That'd be a lot more effective. You can put it right into your pocketbook. You could be able to travel with you. Something that's would be very efficient in many ways, both effectively as far as health-wise, but also efficient in that way that you can travel with it and move around with it and set it on your body and that type of thing. And there are different types of frequencies in infrared, and what I chose for my frequencies for infrared is the 660, 890, then 900, and I also did 720. So it's 660, 720, 880, and 990. Those are very common ones. The 880 frequency, interestingly enough, has also been shown to help out with Alzheimer's. I was talking about the lady the other day, or the lady that came in with the Alzheimer's, and when we put the things on her head, the headphones, she also had arthritis. And what we did then is here now is hopefully this, let me know if this is too bright or whatever, Lauren, but these are the lights. Again, they are what we call the TIBS. They're very efficient. Let's see, I got them plugged here, I think.
One is on.
Yep, so we need to plug another one in. This one is not being cooperative.
Okay.
Get a cooperative plug here. All right, there we go.
You're red.
Yeah, I'm red now. See, so
now, does this infrared light, does it go through video? Would you think it goes through video? Can we feel that?
that would be a good. I think more of the Tri-Vortex frequencies themselves. The frequency, yes. The infrared itself, no. But definitely, you might, that would be an interesting experiment of getting a drink and putting it up against your monitor and see if it changes taste. So the basically thing though is that now we have these two small little bulbs. You can see an array of them. Some of the things you cannot see. It looks like some of the lights are turned off, but they're not. They're basically beyond the wavelength frequency of our eyes. We can't see them, but they are functioning. One of the key things now with this little container, and where I separate myself again from all the other infrared lights out there, inside of here is a pouch, a little plastic bag of Tri-Vibes. So this light has now dual purposes. It also has its infrared.
Yeah. It
has the infrared, but it also is it's functioning as a carrier for the vitamins and nutrients.
Awesome.
So then this Naomi who came in with her arthritis, I put these two into her hands just on the palms, And then she had the headsets. That's the only thing she did. And basically then almost say 90% of her arthritis, the pain was relieved. So we had a double whammy. We were doing her Alzheimer's and we're also doing her arthritis. So those two big A words we took care of. So basically, also this infrared light is excellent for any type of skin conditions. It also does not provide any type of cure, but if you have some sort of rash, you have any type of mold poisoning, it is very, very good for that. One of the things also now that I set up here, and it comes with the TIBs, is that we have a thing of what's called reflexology, where you have the tip of the hand to here. This, when you treat this part of the hand, you're also treating the head. It's also when you massage, and this is what's called reflexology. I call it fluxology now because we're going to do two spots simultaneously. That's fluxology. So basically, when you hit this tip of the fingers, you're also treating the head. Then you just keep on going down, and so like here, you're also now doing the stomach, the pelvic area, and then basically now basically your sexual organs being this part of the hand. So wherever you put this energy, that's also where you're also treating the head. So when you put this on the tip of your fingers, you're also now stimulating your head area, and you just keep on going down. So you have some back pain, so you want to put it down more into the palms and keep them both there. And now you're treating the lower back. So that's again all about reflexology. You can do the same thing also with the foot, starting off with the toes all the way to the heel. So you can simultaneously, if you want to, if you have a person that's helping you, then you can do the hand and the other person can do the foot, and you do it simultaneously. So now you're again the whole contention of reflexology is that our organs, the parts of the body, are expressed, and they're basically still just an extension, or the various parts of the hands and the feet are extensions of the various parts of the body. So as you treat the feet and that portion of the feet and that portion of the hand, you are also treating that particular area of the body. So that's where again this comes in, where with the other infrared lights that are out there, you really can't do that. And so this is again very small, very type of compact type of thing. So I had a lady come to me. She had dental implants,
Mm-hmm.
and they've now associated dental implants. That's what they think that Morgellons is, a form of Morgellons, is the reaction to the chemicals having to do with dental implants. And it could be the pre-stuff that they're using. It could be the actual gel, whatever it is, there's some sort of chemicals because they've now associated it with Morgellons disease. So, and she was having her whole new set of implants. She had a stroke. Her name is Joyce, and she's up on the videos, not on the website, but again on that special website that I have for Vimeo. Look under Joyce's Journey to Balance, and she describes all of this. And basically, again, then she started getting the Morgellons, and we have some really dramatic pictures of showing these open sores. And then we started using the lights. We started using various other things. We're going to talk about the oil also here in a moment. And basically, then we reversed pretty much now all of our Morgellons. So
Awesome.
again, there's so many applications though. This can be used for pain. It's safe. You're not going to hurt yourself on the eyes. If it somehow gets to the eyes, it's not going to hurt that. So, if you put it right up against your eyes and put it there, yeah, possibly so, but just, moving it around and that type of thing, it is not going to hurt the eyes. And
well, let's do a little experiment while you're talking here. Let's do a little experiment. Will you hold that up? You said that the Tri-Vibes technology frequencies in this unit that's broadcasting through the light will come through the screen at us. I'm going to turn your screen full screen here. That looks great. So our viewers, I can feel it. When I put my hand up to my monitor, I can feel it. So
what you're feeling is the Tri-Vortex energies, and not so much, I think, even Tri-Vibes. It's the actual frequencies that have been put into it. to me, that would be logical that that would make it through. Now, the actual vitamins and nutrients, that would be very interesting if that made it through. But at the very least, that's coming through would be the Tri-Vortex energies. So what you may want to do also, if you're going to repeat this, and people that are listening to it, you can rewind it or hit the, go backwards, and now go get two glasses of juice or wine or whatever it is. Make sure the one glass is not anywhere near the room; it's out of the room, and then bring a glass and put it up against the screen and leave it there. I'm going to leave this thing here probably for a couple of minutes at least. And now put it up against the screen where the lights are, and just leave it there for 30 seconds to a couple of minutes. And then now walk out of the room and then do a smell and taste test with the one, your control that you've now poured off, and see if there is a difference. So that would be a great way of demonstrating. And this is again, thank you, Lauren. I've never done this before. This is totally cutting edge, and it may not work, but it may work. I don't know, but it's worth the try and worth the experiment.
Yes, and I have to put you on double screen here while I talk, so I'm not on the full screen myself. We're already getting comments that people feel it. It is very interesting. I mean, just looking at it, I feel it. But when I hold my hands up to it, I feel it. So that's what we need to pay attention to.
Well, this is true acoustic type of energy. So, I mean, we're filling out the title of your program to the T.
Acoustic. It's frequencies. And
Right.
isn't that fascinating that our voice carries infrared as we tone, as we use it? It carries infrared. Isn't it amazing? It's amazing. All right.
So
I'm just going to let you hold those up there, but wow.
Those persons who want to play this back,
yeah,
and put this up, it'd be interesting if there's a difference between record and playback also. So if you get the same energy on the playback, that's going to be a real test right there, is getting it back on the playback.
All right. All right. So let us know in the comments here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So then basically, again, as I said, any type of skin condition is really good for. Again, the pain or anything else like that, it's very good for. Again, what's happening is the infrared is acting as a direct delivery right into the area of the vitamins and nutrients of the Tri-Vibes. So if you have even like a kidney challenge or something like that that's going on, you can put it right onto an organ part. It's not going to have any type of detriment type of thing. There's nothing, because it's all just frequency. So you can put this over any organ to improve its performance. So one thing it will do, though, is that most likely you'll experience a detox. So I do highly recommend that as you're doing this, if you're putting your hands up on the thing, or if you buy these and use it, then make sure that you do plenty of hydration. Very, very important to do hydration to help that lymphatic system take out any type of detox type of materials.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you for that reminder. Beautiful. We're just going to allow you to hold those up here. This is beautiful because this can be used by practitioners. We have a lot of healers and a lot of healing artists on our membership and our community here. So this is a protocol that can be used with clients, and even in personal remote sessions. If we get feedback that people are experiencing positive results from you holding infrared lights up over video, then can you imagine the healing aspects that practitioners can do with the technology like Zoom, right? We can meet with our clients and offer sessions like this.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, the possibilities are unlimited. And as I said, there is a special type of conjunction astrologically that's going on right now. It's called Saturn and Jupiter. And they're starting to dance around with one another. They haven't done this conjunction in Aquarius since for 10,000 years. And
Wow.
on June 21st of 2020, Saturn and Neptune, or Saturn and Jupiter, go 5 degrees apart from one another. And that's very, very, and what's really interesting about it, according to the ephemeris, I mean, it is an exact zero at the 21st on summer solstice. And then on winter solstice in December 1st of 2020, Jupiter and Saturn go into an exact conjunction at 0 degrees Aquarius. Aquarius then, the age of Aquarius officially launches in December 21st, 2020. So a little bit over a year from now. And when that occurs, I think we're going to see a lot of different. I mean, there's going to be major changes that are going to occur as we go into this now age of Aquarius.
I wish I could play that song. It is the dawning of the age of Aquarius right now. I'm hearing
Exactly.
that.
The elite have known about this for a long time. Their high places know astrology extremely well, and they know what's coming. And so now we all need to be prepared. Is that on those dates? Then the 5 degree they dance around with one another again, Jupiter and Saturn, and they go out of 5 degree aspect on February 1st of 2021. So from
Okay.
June 21st to February 1st, 2021, and then yeah, June 21st, 2020 to February 1st, 2021, there's a very intense period where humanity and the earth and everything is going through a real shift in big time in a lot of ways. We're going from the age of Pisces, of hidden influences, to Aquarius, which is again electronics, healing, communications, that type of thing.
Mm. I just find it fascinating, absolutely fascinating. We're already feeling this. We've been talking a lot about this on this show. People are really feeling this need to step up. And I believe that's this dance between Saturn and Jupiter. We've seen Jupiter close to the moon recently, and Saturn's right there. And it's all coming into alignment then. Thanks for sharing that. That's really profound. The age of Aquarius is really upon us.
We're just a little bit over a year from it.
Okay. Well, then, it's promising because it's the newness that we're bringing forward, and you're right there with it, Brian. I call this new earth technology that you've got. You are following inner guidance when you are doing this research, correct? I mean,
Oh,
this
very
is
much so, yeah.
downloads.
Yeah.
You're getting the downloads. Talk a little bit about your wife, the veterinarian, and she actually is astonished by this as well. She's loving it.
Okay. Well, that segues us into then my other product here, and I think by now everybody either record or thing. I'm going to go ahead and put these down.
Oh, that was just such a warm feeling, that vibration. And now that you've taken it off the screen,
Mm-hmm.
it's really calm and cool right now, but that was really luscious. Thank you. We have people in our chat line saying that, yes, they feel it. Maybe it's other dimensional.
Well, it's also too is that now when these are sold in pairs. I do
Yes.
not sell them singly.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, that's part of the price that we are putting up here. It's a special price. They retail for 400. Two of them retail for 350. They both have the tri-vibes in them. And also for those practitioners is that again, 2 or 3 sets. There's no, that's what's so fascinating. As practitioners get these lights, they'll find out their own techniques.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the disc. You're experimenting with your own thing. I mean, can you imagine if you're a practitioner and like even a massage therapist, you got the disc that you can put on if their person's on their stomach, you put the disc on their back, lower back, and then you put the one infrared on the foot and put one in the hand, then do your thing, switch it around, that type of thing. Really, really get the energy going. And it'll take any type of therapy. It's not to replace at all. It will be everything to take whatever the therapist is doing and take it to an absolute maximum type of level.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Okay, so what happened in regards to my wife, and then also then it led to a new product, is I got bit on the elbow by a brown recluse spider.
Mm.
This was in San Diego, California, and my arm swelled up. It had a hematoma from my wrist to my armpit. I had this massive swelling. Skin was falling off my elbow. And okay, what do you do? And I looked it up, and basically is that the medical community can't really do anything for spider bites. All they do is they can cut down the area for the swelling, and that leaves a major scar, and then they give you antibiotics, and they just kind of hope for the best then. So there was a technique, though, that was put out by a company that makes silver hydrosol, and you use silver hydrosol spray, then you use silver hydrosol gel, and you put that on the arm, and then that's supposed to help out. Well, I did that, nothing happened. Then I had a ozonated oil, and what I did then was to put the spray down, then I put the gel down, and then I put the oil down, and still nothing happened. Then I put some gauze around it, and still nothing happened. So I'm still working along here. Now it's about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm hurting. The arm is really, really bad. And so my wife, who is a veterinarian, says, you have 24 hours to get this fixed, and if you don't, then we're going to the emergency room. So I thought, well, I'm going to give this technique that I'm doing here one more chance. And I was so tired, I had not been sleeping. So I thought, well, what I'm going to do is get some cellophane, some just cling wrap. And I put all the stuff down. I put the spray down, the gel down, the ozone gel, and then I wrapped it with this cling wrap. This was 11 o'clock at night. Then I finally got into bed at 12 o'clock at night. Then the hematoma that was in the black and blue mark from my wrist to my elbow or to my armpit started going on fire. It was as somebody had a blowtorch on my arm. So I let it go. I didn't take anything off. So then around 3 o'clock in the morning, everything seemed to settle down, and I could feel all this undulating and all this stuff happening in my arm. And I took off the cling wrap. And so I couldn't believe what I saw. I punched my wife, and so she comes around the corner. Now, part of my history is also I haven't been to a medical doctor since I was 23. I'll be 67 this month. And so this was now 6, 7 years ago this occurred. So she's coming around the corner and she's she's laughing. Oh, you're going to have to go to a real doctor, aren't you? Ha, ha, ha. Now she does emergency rooms and also spay neuter for her veterinary practice. She doesn't do the normal, give the vaccines and that type of thing. So she does real high stress stuff. So it takes a whole lot to make her speechless. And she looked at my arm and she's kind of laughing. And then it was just basically this, ha ha ha. Well, okay. And so the hematoma that was between my wrist and my armpit was totally gone. It wasn't even there. And my arm had reduced swelling by almost probably 70-80%.
Excellent.
So then
awesome.
The key thing that really got her, and now also led to the product, was that I had what's called a hygroma, and it's a water patch on my elbow. And she said, just get used to it. And when animals get bit by a spider, it's just something that lasts the rest of your life. So she said, just get used to it. You're going to have that water patch on the rest of your life. And I went, oh, yeah, thank you, for that bit of advice. And so we had moved to San Diego, and we had a 2-story house and had stone steps. And I had gone up and down these steps with some poor foot gear. I had just a regular old type of sandals. And I created just a really horrible case of plantar fasciitis. I thought, well, I'm going to just try this same technique that worked on my elbow and my arm. Would that help with the plantar fasciitis? And I did that, and so then just right around from one ankle bone to the other ankle bone, these big massive pustules, these boils would come up, and you just touch them, and it didn't hurt, but all this water was there. It was just water, 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 and half my hygroma was gone. So then I waited 10 days, came back and did that same process again. Nothing happened. Waited another 10 days, came back and did it again. And this time it really, really took off. It was just, it was just all this water was just flowing out of my ankle. I couldn't wear a shoe. And lo and behold, what happened? There you can see a normal type of elbow. It totally took away. And this patch was something, I mean, it was really big, type of thing. And as now you can see, my hygroma, it was totally gone. My elbow was totally back to normal. And if any one thing probably drove her crazy enough, that was it. So it was like, oh, okay, we know there's something to it. But then that also led, well, the ozone oil, what was happening is the cling wrap was acting as where nothing could evaporate. All of that silver that was there, the silver hydrosol and the oils were just being forced into the arm and also being forced into the leg, and it was acting as a detox type of thing. So there was no way to escape or evaporate, and just trapped right there. And that was the key thing. And so I thought, well, again, one of the things that I have done as part of the whole Tri-Vortex thing is I have discovered a way that I can run small appliances, lasers, various other types of things, light bulbs, and it goes from the computer to an amplifier. And it comes out the two positive poles of the amplifier. Then I plug the bulb, just like you would normally think. I put a normal plug off the two positive speakers, and then I take that lamp plug and just plug it in. And then I can actually run light bulbs. It can run various things. And one of the things that I can run is an ozone generator. The ozone generators don't use very much power. So when I did this, the wall plugs run off 60 hertz. And what my thing on the computer runs off is 25 to 5,000 hertz. So when that special type of electricity that's also structured, as again, it's got all these triangles and squares and everything else to it, is when that structured electricity hits the ozone generator, it takes the ozone generator to a whole different type of level, where at 60 hertz, it's going to put out a certain type of thing. And as you put ozone oils through it, then basically it does it at one level, but now I'm doing a whole different type of level. So in ozone, when you ozonate oil, such as olive oil or hemp oil or coconut oil or anything else like that, what you're doing is that goes from an oxygen concentrator at the time, then it goes through a ozone generator, and then that picks up people say it picks up an ozone, but it does not. Basically picks up a charged particle. That charged particle then is pumped into, with the oxygen, into the bubbling oil. And as it hits the oil, then the bubble keeps going, but that charge, or when I say ozone, I think it's electrical charge, discharges from the gas and then causes a chemical reaction in the oil. That chemical reaction causes a new chemical bond. So basically, after you've done this for 25, 30 days, just keep it going steady all the time, where you're constantly putting this charge into the oil. You'll take an olive oil, and basically, you know that olive oil is a very dark type of color, will lighten it up significantly. It doesn't even look like olive oil anymore. It doesn't smell like it, doesn't do anything. And so all the other ozone oil companies, they cannot mix oils. They have to either have it just ozone or just olive oil or just coconut oil or just hemp oil. I found a way where I can mix them, where I can take a coconut oil and an olive oil and mix them together, and they don't separate. They actually come together. The coconut oil has a low saturated fat. The olive oil has a little bit saturated fat. It's a little higher. But the coconut oil acts as a carrier for the olive oil to go in real fast. When you put olive oil on your skin, it can take a long time to absorb. And when it's mixed with coconut oil, then because it's a low saturated fat, the coconut oil just goes directly in, goes in real fast. So that now it pulls that olive oil in also. So you're getting the super type of hydration with the olive oil into the skin. And so that now led to a product we call totally ozonated oils. Also, too, is one of the things that I do for a step where everybody else doesn't do is I come up with a way of I can take a regular air pump from just an aquarium air pump, and I put it through a special process that puts oxygen ions into the air. That is then what is pumped into the oils rather than oxygen and an ozone. It is my air pump going through the ozone, or through this, not ozone, but ion type of oxygen, and then goes into the oils, and you get a much, much better oil than you would be with using the oxygen concentrator. Part of the reason also the oxygen concentrator is that you have a tremendous opportunity for a fire. And so basically that's why a lot of people don't go into ozone oils, is because you're constantly having this oxygen run 24/7. And there have been major fires people have had that are even professional organizations that do this on a large scale. You always have that threat of the fire. So this threat has now been eliminated. Also, too, is that the ozone, when it goes through my special type of process, the ozone is also brought down to an ion level, and that goes into the ozone oil. And basically, you can't smell the ozone. I have these massive ozone generators that can do Olympic-sized swimming pools. But as soon as my gas goes through, it breaks down the ozone into ion levels and goes into the oil, and then transforms it into then a whole nother types of oil. So what we have here now is what is called totally ozone oils. And it's a combination of coconut and olive oil. And again, just a very simple type of thing where you use it on a pump and then just spread it on. I love to sell oil, believe that, but at the same time, now that little amount that I sprayed onto my hand, that will do the entire hands and do everything. It doesn't take very much oil at all. And so also too is that the smell of regular type of ozone oil for all the other products has a very pungent smell. This oil can, some people misinterpret, and it may smell like it's rancid, but it's not, or it has a rancid smell type of thing, but it actually is not. All of the chemical elements have been just really taken up to another type of level. And if it was rancid, it wouldn't work. And we have it now for various types of things. One of the major things that we now have proven the oils will do is to reverse skin damage caused by the sun. So a lot of people that have skin damage especially on your face, it will help to reverse that. As you do a long-term type of thing over a 20-day period, you apply this every day for a 20-day period. Basically takes away most of the sunburn or sun damage. I have a medical doctor out of Manhattan Beach, California. He's an alternative doctor, but he now, of this two, he buys 3 cases, which is 12 to a case. He buys 3 cases of 2 every 45 days. That's how much this is popular with his patients. He's had numerous types of people telling him. One person said they tried everything for a skin rash and it pretty much reversed it, that type of thing. This is also, I was telling you about the lady Joyce who had the Morgellons. She also used this oil on her open sores along with the infrared lights. And when you combine this oil with the lights, it's something awesome. So also too is if you want to take a little bit of this and combine it with, say, like a massage oil, that also works too. I'm having people do that and they find some really great success of basically you can just take that little amount that I had and put it with a larger amount of massage oil and you get some really tremendous results with it. So basically is This is a different type of oil. It's again the combination type of oil. Uh, I think it's, from everything that's been told to me by all the persons that have used this so far, that it's one of the most unique oils out there. The major thing is, though, for some people, you just have to understand this has a very pungent, or it's not really pungent, but it has a very different type of smell. And at first, you may interpret it as being rancid oil, but it is not. It is just simply supercharged up. Once you start putting the application on, that's where a lady called me. She says, this tastes not taste, but it smells, a little bit rancid. And I said, but yeah, but it works, doesn't it? And she goes, yeah, it works, wonderful. And I said, rancid oil wouldn't do that. So I said it would do just the reverse. So basically, you just have to get used to a little bit of a more stronger aroma that this has. And once you get past that, then and start applying it, it can be used for so many types of things. One of the things also too is that how we were introduced to ozone oils, my wife and I, we went to one of her seminars that she was doing for her continuing education for veterinary work. And there was a veterinarian there talking about doing rectal injections with animals. And so when you do ozone oils rectally, what happens is the blood vessels in the rectum take the oil directly to wherever the stress area is. Where again, you go on topically on the skin, it also can work. You can't do this orally. The stomach simply cannot take the ozonated oil. But when you do it rectally, that's a whole different type of thing. And so if you have any type of flu symptom, you have even colds, this also too is very good, as I said, for any type of skin rashes, mold poisoning. Excellent, excellent, excellent for mold poisoning is to do rectal injections. Just a 1 cc syringe, draw it up, get a little lubrication and put it in. So, and again, doctors know that the best way to do any type of medication, if doctors had their way, all of our medication will be done rectally, because they know that the digestive system is a major barrier for a lot of any type of external types of ways of trying to change any type of health condition. And rectally would be probably optimal for any type of drug. But again, there's, people just can't, handle that. It doesn't make very good for a commercial either. So again, basically is it has so many multiple uses. And again, this is like every other Tri-Vortex product. There's something out there. When you buy this, you may find an application that I've not thought of or other people have thought of. And basically, again, it's also an adventure in experimentation. There's no contraindications. There's no side effects. It's either going to work or it doesn't. And that's basically that's the motto of Tri-Vortex, the Tri-Vortex Institute. When people come in, I tell them there's no contraindications of all the things we do here. There are no side effects, and it's either going to work or it doesn't. So, and there's not too many things that are out there today that can say make that type of statement. Is that we, again, most important thing is we follow the Hippocrates oath and do no harm. So, do we have any questions coming in the chat room yet?
Well, that's fascinating, Brian. Thank you so much. I have a question on the oil then. Would we just use it every day in our everyday? You put it on your hands, or are you using it more for alleviating symptoms?
Well, it just depends on what your budget is.
Right.
So, if you feel like, again, this takes a long process for this oil. It is different from all other types of oils where everybody else is doing their oils in 10 to 20 days. This takes a 30-day type of process, a very slow process. It looks like right now, as we speak, I'm now at the end of a 30-day cycle for another batch. I'm about ready to do some more bottling. And so basically what you're paying for here is quality. There's, again, I would compare this to any type of ozone oil, but not only this of ozone oil, it's probably the top of the line, but it also is compared to other types of oils, and so versatile and can be used in so different ways. So, just keep it on the shelf and use it for emergencies only if that's what you want to do, or you can also then use it on a daily basis. It all depends upon your budget and your desire. And again, that's where this medical doctor, his name is Dr. Vu. He uses this himself on a daily basis, and he gets compliments all the time of how young he looks. And he says, that people think he's 10 years younger than he actually is. So again, this is again a medical doctor that, and his statement is up on see, it's in the PDF. There's a PDF link that has a white paper. I don't have a web page for two yet, but I have a white paper that I published, and that's in the links. And you can see his statement is in that white paper.
Okay, excellent. I was going to say for skincare, even the infrared bulbs, it looks like these two products would help for anti-aging.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe skin tightening for
Exactly.
those who are into that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, I'm going to show our special offer page to that, and you guys can check that out. We are offering all of these products with a special offer from Brian, and it is here at bit.ly/Brian offer. This is wonderful because you've got the discs, you've got a bunch of things on here. We've talked about the oil and we've talked about the infrared bulbs. These are great for practitioners, great for your use in your own life. Join us for our after party. If you purchase any of these products today, you can come into our immediate Zoom meeting where we're going to continue our conversation now with Brian in a short after party and chat with some of those who are already in our group. So that is a special offer for you. Brian, do you want to add anything about that special offer? These are good prices off your normal rates.
Yes, very much so. Is that basically the bulbs are, as I said, retail at 400. You get them for 350. So if you're a practitioner, make a $600 investment and you'd actually get four bulbs then, or it'd actually be a $700 investment, and you get four bulbs, and it'll be one of the best investments you've ever made, because then on one person you can put four bulbs simultaneously. You also have the disc going. If you want to, you can also put the amulet, the Tri-Vortex amulet, and then also again using the oils. So you're just going to take anything what you're doing. It's not replacing what you're doing, but taking everything to a whole different type of level.
Yes. And I love the fact, I mean, we have a comment here from Positive 777 who said that it was very interesting with the infrared bulbs. I had a lot of back pain this week, is what this person says. So I turned and faced my back toward the lights on the screen, not for very long. And then now that they're gone for a few minutes, I feel heat on my entire back, almost like sunburn. This person says, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I can see using these in healing sessions remotely. I'm going to be working on that as well. I think it's a great frontier. Again, using technology, we do know that's where it goes quantum. Remote healing works. And so feeling that infrared on this episode today, it was really quite unique. So as we say goodbye here, Brian, I want to give you a moment to bring those lights back up.
Okay.
And we can end our portion of this live stream with those.
Okay.
And if you'd like to join us in our QCTV after party, everyone, please check that out. You can join our New Earth community membership. That is bit.ly/QCTV pass. And if you purchase a product from Brian today, you automatically get a ticket into our QCTV after party. Okay, Brian, thank you.
One more comment
Yes.
about if you buy the bulbs. It's already been proven that all biological life forms go in a left-hand spin. So as you're going to do these, I always recommend left-hand spin.
We're just taking a few minutes here. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you for sharing in this QCTV episode today. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank you for sharing your bright light. It is New Earth. We are here, we are empowered, and we are impassioned, and you are a huge part of that. Thank you for holding your vision of New Earth. And now it is time to dance our way to the cosmic heart, and we'll see you at the QCTV after party. Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.